All right, so I could actually slightly hear that there.
Yeah,
You
me
like
too.
our European techno intro there, Eamon?
It's how European. It's very classy.
Right? So, welcome back to Cantina Conversations, our first ever guest appearance done by the infamous Eamon Tui.
Hi, hello.
I
Thank you
believe
for
there's a
having
cheers
me.
on there, so you can cheers
Yes,
yourself.
Oh, is
cheers
there?
and
There's
applause.
Cheers, applause.
Is
Do both.
cheers different from applause?
I would assume so. If they're different
We're
buttons.
gonna cheer first.
It's like
Oh, those
Halo.
are children. I kind of expected them to be like, like in a shitty sitcom from the 90s when they like cheer when people like make out.
Oh, no. We're not the Big Bang Theory here.
Ooh!
All right, now
guess-
applaud. Yeah.
I can
insincere.
slightly hear it.
Yeah, it's the monitoring's a bit loud.
All right,
That's fine.
boys. Let's celebrate and crack one. Crack open a cold one. Ooh. Hope that sounded good. Sounded good to
I
me.
only got a half crack out.
I got a full crack.
Okay, so much has happened since the last time that we recorded. It's also probably a month and a half later than expected.
Yeah.
So we were on hiatus. I was moving locations. Now I am fully moved in. Still not professionally set up like I was hoping, but this is as good as it's going to get for now in the time being. So thank you for helping us out with the audio issues. to say the
I
least.
gave it my best shot.
Mwah.
It's
Thank
okay.
you.
Only Ben is listening right now. Shout out Ben.
Oh yeah, always shout out Ben.
Always shout out Ben.
You gotta say it.
Say
Oh, shout out, Ben.
shout out
There you
Ben.
go. There you go.
All right, so really big shit just went down yesterday. The finale. Now, normally we like to talk about every episode as it comes out, but we missed the entire
Clearly
series.
you
Hold
didn't
on,
do
hold on.
that.
Before we start that, on our last episode, did we even talk about Doctor Strange?
Did we?
We might not have.
Well, I didn't watch it.
Oh, boo.
You haven't seen it yet?
No,
It's
I
on Disney
haven't.
Plus.
I don't have that.
I have that.
That's nice.
I can give you my account information. Everyone else has it. Zach has it. Chris has it.
Yeah, my Disney Plus. Is
Now everyone
his
else
Disney
says,
Plus.
here's my username and password. It is.
It is offer code Steve at blueapron.com.
So I guess we won't discuss it other than I thought it was good.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. Amen. Thoughts?
Well, having not seen it,
I'd love
And-
to get into specifics with it, but
yeah,
I won't
exactly.
spoil it.
Yeah. all right.
Listen, here's the thing. The only time I ever watch any of the Marvel movies anymore is when I come home with you guys. I don't actually care that much.
Oh, that's fine.
Like, loser. It's like, I don't know. My whole thing is just I come home and they're a fun thing to do with you guys, and that's nice.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. Do you have an aw button?
I believe we have.
No.
Do we have gunshots?
Yes.
I don't think that's
We
quite
have
the same
crows
emotion.
cawing.
I don't think
Caw.
either of those are exactly what we're going for
Well,
here.
caw and aw.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's like I regret coming on here.
Is it a copyright strike to go bump ba bump ba bump ba bump?
Actually, just recently, because a lot of podcasts used to use that, and then the people or whoever did that shit realized, hey, everyone's using this. Let's
I'd
monetize
imagine that would
shit.
probably be Larry David.
There you go.
Well, all right. So then we'll just. Are we doing the whole Kenobi? We doing just.
We got to do the whole Kenobi. So actually, I have to ask you this then: do you not give a shit about Star Wars other than when you come home?
Okay, so that's a loaded question.
Now,
However,
remember, we are a Star Wars religious household, and you are currently in my abode.
I will say that I did not watch any of the Boba Fett TV show.
You didn't miss much.
Unfortunately, I have to agree. But because I'm a lover of 99% of all Star Wars content, I would still say it's worth the watch.
Now, when you say 99% of all Star Wars content, does that 99% include the stuff that's no longer canon, or is that just the 99? Because that's a
That
different.
does.
Okay. Because I was gonna say that's a very different
I
99%.
think Legends has some better content than what is canon.
For him, I think the only thing that's not watchable are the Marquez sisters.
Oh my god, yes. It's irredeemable garbage. And I never thought I would say that about any Star Wars content. Now, just so you know what we're talking about, there are these characters that were created for the Clone Wars animated series, and they have the most boring...
Like the 3D Clone Wars or the 2D Clone
The
Wars?
3D Clone Wars.
Okay.
But, so that would be after the purchase.
It's been a minute
Yeah.
since I watched.
Yeah, they were introduced in the final season of the Clone Wars.
Oh, didn't see that either.
I haven't either. Sorry.
What? You haven't?
No.
You still have? Oh my god, it's some of the best Star Wars ever.
I believe it, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
All right, so because there's like 10 different thoughts going out at once, we're going to quickly close it. Okay, so Martez, horrible, introduced for a 4-episode story arc in the final season of the Clone Wars. Irredeemable, it sucks. They were reintroduced in the Bad Batch. Irredeemable, sucks. Just stop trying with them. They're horribly written, horribly performed. They just are the worst characters. Like, I would rather
They didn't
10
really
Jar
do
Jars.
much in the Bad Batch.
I'm just gonna take both of your words for it.
They just suck.
So I think for Steve, that would be the 1% of all Star Wars.
Like, I still like The Last Jedi, even though I don't like how they did Luke. I still like it as a movie.
So now that the Luke thing would, if I may, would be an interesting segue into the Kenobi series.
Perfect.
Because I actually think that, I'll be honest, there are parts of Kenobi that I think Kenobi opened strong and ended strong.
Yes, they definitely stuck the landing on it.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I think personally that the parts of Kenobi that were a little bit weaker kind of make what they did with Luke in The Last Jedi actually make a bit of sense to me. Because it seems to me like the Kenobi series was trying to give Obi-Wan a kind of similar arc to what they gave Luke in The Last Jedi. You know, that he feels like he's failed. He's screwed off to, live in a cave. And we don't see him slurp the green milk, but like presumably, who knows where that meat he's chowing on or he's given to his horse thing comes from. Could be the same animal. I don't know, man. The milk steak. The green milk steak. But I don't know. Like, it just feels like they're trying to give him they're trying to retread the same sort of arc that they did with Luke in The Last Jedi. And I don't know if it quite rings true with Obi-Wan. And part of that is just because, like, we know where he was. We know where he needs to be. Giving him... To me, it just makes what they tried to do with Luke in The Last Jedi make a bit more sense. Because, like, you see why he feels like he's a failure, independent of the whole, like, this kid had a bad dream, we're going to have to chop him. But, like with it, if you put that aside and you're like, okay, Luke feels like he screwed up. Obviously, his whole attempt to sort of resurrect the Jedi it took a bit of a turn. I think that's fair to say. It took a turn. And he's, he kind of screws off and he's like, okay, I done messed up. How do I come? He's not saying this obviously, but his arc is sort of how do you come back from, feeling that failure and learning from your mistakes and everything. And I think they try and give Obi-Wan something similar in the Obi-Wan series, right? Where
he
like
just doesn't give up on the Jedi Order, though.
Right.
Luke
It's
does.
like, and it's like, I don't know. It's just, I think they tried to, a lot of the parallels are a lot clearer with this series than without it. And I don't know what to make of that. I'm just saying that exists.
Now, I had a similar thought process to that go on when I was first seeing how Obi-Wan was acting, because I was hearing similar criticism from some peers that I was talking to about the series. They're saying, I don't like how he's kind of just given up on everything, and he it seems like they're treading down the same path as The Last Jedi. But my rebuttal to it was, well, you see, the difference is that he hasn't quite given up entirely on the Jedi Order. He still says, even in the first episode, oh, the boy must be trained when he gets older. So he hasn't quite given up on it like that. But I understand the feeling like a failure. Like, you look entirely at what this poor guy just went through over the last 10 years. And also, it's not a drastic bad dream, must kill him, now everything has gone to shit. Whereas he's had 10 years. And he's on a mission, too. He's not just being a hermit. He's on a mission protecting Luke, protecting the Lars homestead, but also dwelling on his issues. Whereas how they portrayed Luke, he just gave up on everything. Now I'm going to be a hermit, go fishing, drink some green titty milk from a space walrus.
Well, it's like, to me, I don't know. I think the thing is that I think it's hard to do what they want to do with the Obi-Wan series, right? Which is to give Obi-Wan, to develop him, right? To give him sort of an arc that stretches from, right?
Alec Guinness.
Exactly. To sort of see how we go from, Obi-Wan at the end of episode 3 to Obi-Wan at the start of episode 4, right? How he gets there, how he gets to, and I think part of the, as cool as the last episode was, I think part of the thing that maybe is a bit frustrating, I guess, to me, is that we just kind of see him become Obi-Wan again. We don't see him start moving towards, the guy who's like, I don't know who that is. I'm old Ben. We don't really see, and like, yeah, sure, they're gonna make a season 2, whatever. It's just, I feel like at the end of the Obi-Wan series, Obi-Wan is just Obi-Wan again, and I don't know how to feel about that. I think I would rather there be. It's just. And it's hard. It's hard for them to do what they want to do because they've got all these pieces that need to be in a certain place at the end, right? That which is the whole, I guess that's true of that's true of the prequels as well, right? Like, you need Anakin to be, spoilers, scorched. We need Buddy Guy to be toast. We need Obi-Wan to screw off to Tatooine.
In order for him to turn into the burnt marshmallow that we know.
Yeah, exactly. And the Obi-Wan series is more of that, right? Like, everything needs to be in the right spot. Which also puts them into a bunch of weird corners, right? Like what do you do with and I don't know. This is the Tatooine stuff. Is like the last episode. Can we spoil and everything?
Yeah, we're spoiling.
Okay, we're spoiling. Okay, so the last episode is basically bifurcated, right? Like there's the Obi-Wan and Vader shit, and then there's the Tatooine stuff. And the Obi-Wan fight, that shit rules. That dude's chucking rocks all over the place. He's rocks.
Full on Force Unleashed.
Yeah. Like, it rules. It's cool. It's like the coolest shit you've ever seen somebody who can use the Force do in Star Wars. Or at least in live action Star Wars. They've never really gone that nuts before.
No. It's been great.
But then the Tatooine stuff is kind of like, Riva pulls up and she's going all, shining on Luke.
Yep. He is Riva.
And nothing's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, there's no stakes.
Yeah, exactly. Either A, what happens, and she's like, all right, you know what, I'm out. Or Aunt Beru is gonna stay strapped. You know that she's gonna keep that motherfucking thing on her, and she's gonna blast her.
I love how she just removed a pipe, and even Owen looked surprised when she did that and whipped out a blaster.
Yeah. She just pulled. He's like, where the fuck are you keeping that? Where did that come from? That's been
When
here
you
how
married
long?
me.
You just kept that there the whole time?
Best continue to harvest that moisture, bitch, or I will grab my blaster.
So anyway, she started blasting.
Exactly. She started blasting, and there's no way that the whole Tatooine thing was gonna end besides someone starting blasting. Because Luke's not getting clapped. It's not gonna happen.
What
Even
if he
when
did and they just replaced him with someone else?
I mean, with how much, retconning we thought they were doing at first with the Grand Inquisitor being stabbed. I mean, we all knew he wasn't dead, but still, there were still some points where we were like, are they retconning Rebels?
Well, that too, right? Like they've basically decided that they're not going to retcon stuff,
I would say
like
my
big things, right?
biggest thing so far has just been like my biggest gripe. I'll live with it, but it's just there is no weight to somebody getting stabbed anymore.
Oh yeah,
Nope.
She could
okay,
get
cool.
stabbed as a kid by Anakin and then stabbed again.
Yeah,
by
pretty much.
Vader.
Like she got friggin' got lasered, and then somehow just
Palpatine
Poof.
return.
poof. Yeah. I have some things to say about the dialogue, but no, like just and then suddenly she's on Tatooine,
Yes.
and I understand that light speed is a thing. I get that, but like she managed to get herself to something that could do light speed mighty quick for someone who just got stabbed in the gut.
Well, we know that she did land her own shuttle, her own personal shuttle on that planet, so she definitely got there on her own ship, at least we can assume.
Yeah, but I don't care the ship that she took, Steve.
Oh, I thought
care
that's
about
what
the
you were
fact that she
saying.
got friggin' stabbed and then was like, all right, anyways,
Well,
time to
remember-
go
Just
kill a
gets on the
child.
ship
But
anyways.
remember, revenge does marvelous...
Whatever the hell Rupert
Does
Friend
wonders for the will to
What does
live?
wonders for the will to live, don't you think?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I really wish they utilized him more.
Maybe they will in the second season.
Well, they definitely are in Fallen Order. It's a Fallen Order too. Not Rupert Friend, but the Grand Inquisitor.
Who knows?
I'll be honest, I wish that they managed to wrangle what's the buddy dude who played Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter, who voiced the Grand Inquisitor in the series. I wish they wrangled.
Wait, that was
Yeah,
him?
it's him.
Oh.
Yeah. I wish that they wrangled him to do it in the live action because yeah, because you can the whole thing that you mentioned it when we
Yes,
were
it
watching
is.
it that there's the quiver in his voice in the first couple episodes. It's not really there in the last episode.
Oh, actually, I think that was Zach who brought that up because
Oh,
I
was
didn't
it
even
you?
notice that he had any of that.
Yeah, because his voice, there's a little bit of a vibrato thing going on in his voice.
Maybe it was Chris then.
Oh, it could've been
'Cause
Chris.
I didn't notice it at all.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of a vibrato thing going on in his voice in the first couple episodes when he's when he walks into the cantina and he said the name of the show. When he walks into the cantina and
Cue the opening!
yeah. And he's like, he's interrogating everybody in there about where would the Jedi go? There's a bit of a quiver in his voice, right? And it feels
I'll have to rewatch.
it's this weird sort of fragile menace. And he said the name of the show. Those are the first ones called, right?
Yes.
And that's not really there in the it's whatever. It's not that maybe he's just doing a thing but to me that sort of softer menace comes through a lot more in the TV show, and I thought it would have been cool to have him back to do the voice.
That's a really good point too, because just you bringing up that point reminds me of his final words in the Rebel series, which some things are more frightening than death, and then he just drops down into the fire to frickin' burn
that's
alive. And
Yeah,
that's some chilling
which
shit.
that's a way to go out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Another thing I loved about the Rebels show, speaking of a great way to go out. The way Kanan dies.
That is one hell of a way to go.
I personally didn't care too much for his character because I was kind of like another grumpy
I
Jedi
liked his
guy.
character. I just didn't like what they did to him in the 3rd season.
See, that's when I started to like him.
I
hated him at
It bothers
first.
me that like they hinted at it in the 1st season that there was something going on with him and Hera, and then they just went full force like, oh no, we love now, so I can't do this. Ezra, you got to do it because I love Hera now. Like it bothers me.
See, I don't think it's
much.
as simple as that because I do believe I remember them having a dialogue exchange where she was saying, well, if we are to actually confirm and be a thing and not hide it anymore, you've got to basically like change your viewing with the Jedi Order.
Well, so they didn't build up to it.
If we're gonna
Like,
get married, you have to convert.
Well, I think it's also because it's a kids show, so they didn't have to go that in depth into like relationships like in
No,
that way.
I mean I get that, but I still think they could have at least done a little bit more to show it because like they went away from it entirely. I think in the whole 2nd season, and then they just came back really strong in the 3rd. Like really, like come on.
Oh, time passes.
I'll get disinherited if I marry a Jedi.
But yeah, but the way Kanan died, man,
Oh, that was
that
beautiful.
actually got me to like kind of choke up a bit. I didn't even care for him that much, but just the weight of his sacrifice.
It's the look. He can't really see them because he's
Well,
blinded.
actually, yes.
Just the look over at them.
And he got, if you pay attention, they show he regained his sight for his last moments. That's some powerful stuff.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah. Although I dig his haircut, you know, getting modern. He's got the fade.
Listen,
Hey, Freddie Prinze is always modern.
Oh my god. I forgot that it was Freddie Prinze who played Fred.
Freddie Prinze Jr., please.
Just plays.
He just plays.
No, just please.
Oh,
please.
please. I heard plays.
I did too.
So we
Please.
were like waiting.
No,
We
no,
were,
no, no, no,
plays
no,
what?
please. But also like, he plays. He plays.
Who is the voice actor for Starkiller and Darth Maul? I'm blanking on his name for some reason.
Same voice actor?
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's crazy,
You know
dude.
what? I still have to.
I don't know
Wikipedia
why I'm
open, so-
blanking on it because I love him so much. And I feel like I'm betraying him by not knowing him. But anyways, my point is that he and Freddie actually did this versus battle for Star Wars knowledge. And
Sam Witwer.
Sam Witwer, thank you. And he kicked Freddie's
Who the hell is that?
Starkiller, Darth Maul.
Other things. Give me other things.
I think he was in some chick TV
Filmography.
show.
So Crank.
It's fine. You been in any anime?
Probably. I don't know. He's definitely got the voice for it.
Like,
He's
I'm
got the
joking, but
range.
also, like, I would probably know that before I know it.
Let's see.
Oh, did you see, speaking of anime, that the Star Wars Visions is getting a second season coming out this fall, I believe?
Oh, that's crazy. Also didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't? It's
No,
real-
I didn't.
The animation's really good.
I watched, like, through less than licit means, the ones animated by Studio Trigger. I forget which ones they're called.
Yeah,
I
I
don't remember the
wouldn't
titles.
be able to
They're-
tell you.
they're-
I know nothing of the studios. In
You'd know the one. They're the two that look very similar, the really bright looking ones. One has twins. The one with the twins is a Trigger one.
Sorry, I was looking at his filmography. I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about.
The Visions, the Star Wars
that was the
Visions.
Star Wars anime show.
Oh yeah, I think I watched the first 2 at your house, and I didn't watch the rest.
Yeah, you bounce off animation, man, huh?
He's not too big into animation.
No, and then he betrayed me and became one of you.
I'm not one
He's
of
not one
them.
of me.
Not
No.
Chris is one of me.
yet. Oh, he's a loser.
Wow.
Listen, here's the thing.
That's indirectly calling Eamon a loser.
Here's the
I
thing.
know.
I accept willingly the label of loser. I build Gundam. I know what I am.
That almost got beer all over the mic.
Listen, I know that you have experience with that, Mashal.
What, Gundams?
Yes.
I
Being
don't have
shown
any.
them
Being shown them, yes.
by your uncle.
Yes.
Now, all I'm saying, is I feel disappointed in myself that Chris isn't one of us on account of myself.
You're disappointed that he's not a weeb on account of you?
Yes, I tried mightily when we were teenagers and failed mightily.
That's probably why.
And like, well, here's the thing. My pitch was, hey Chris, you should watch Full Metal Alchemist because in that show they draw transmutation circles, and the circles are kind of like the circle for the AOE in WoW. And that's it. That was my pitch. It wasn't a very good pitch. I wasn't very strong in public speaking.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. For Chris, that's a strong pitch for, I mean, especially back then when he was that into WoW. Like,
The fudge?
I don't see that as it being like a super, like, bad pitch, considering the times.
Well, like, here's the thing, man. It's like my pitch was, hey, dude, circles. And like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
think that's a
I
very
like that.
strong pitch.
Hey, dude, these circles look like some of those WoW circles.
Yeah, you like those
And,
circles.
and
How
you
about
like
these
the
circles?
WoW
You like those
circles,
circles.
so you might like these
Oh, man.
circles.
And he was like, nah, I'm kind of more into triangles these days.
Yeah, all right.
No, he's not into triangles. Tried to get him to play Zelda and took Breath of the Wild for that to happen, so he's not into triangles either.
He still hasn't beaten it as far as I know.
That's okay. It's a long game.
I mean, if you do everything, yes. But if you just go for the boss...
Like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Hypothetically, you could, like, as soon as you get off the Great Plateau, you could just bum rush Ganon.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, you could. It could
Yeah,
happen. You could
I
do it.
watched
People have done
a
it.
YouTube video.
But, like, okay, that's neither here nor there. Point being,
I knew
you
you'd
should
have a
watch
strong
the
reaction to that.
animes.
Yeah,
At least the Star Wars ones.
I'll
There-
get right on it.
There are good animes out there. I'm still extremely picky because I'm just new into getting into anime still.
The only one that I've watched is Avatar.
You know what? There
I
are people
cannot
out
get
there.
into Avatar.
There are people out there who would say, actually, Avatar is not an anime. They're wrong. Avatar is an anime, and Avatar rules.
Avatar does.
So
rule.
I have
I
a
will
very
admit that.
hard time getting into Avatar, and it's very surprising because I remember enjoying it when I was a kid. I haven't watched it in any linear sense. I've seen it just kind of like episodes, bits and pieces when I go to other people's houses. But the other reason is because Dave Filoni. He's the big honcho at Star Wars now.
Yeah.
And I love him. And he created or co-created the Clone Wars show with George Lucas.
Mhm.
So that should be another reason to want to watch Avatar, but I just cannot get into it.
I didn't think he was involved in Avatar.
Yes,
He is.
heavily.
Really?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Yep.
For the Avatar show, yes. It's because of Avatar that George Lucas reached out to Dave Filoni to help him with Clone Wars.
Yeah. I don't remember if he was in all 3 seasons, but I know
At least the first.
I know at least the first, because I remember, I think it was you, Steve, you pointed it out to me, and then I went back and I watched an episode and I waited for the credits and I went, holy shit.
Also, have you seen his doodles? Oh my god.
Oh, okay. He directed 9 episodes. Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder which episodes he directed.
And
All
it's
of the good ones.
So it's because.
Oh, they're all good ones.
So
So,
Dave Filoni is actually why I watched my first anime movie as well, because
was it
he
Princess
drew-
Mononoke?
Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke is, like, plot-wise,
He drew
shockingly similar to Star Wars. It does not surprise me that that is the first one
So
you
he
watched.
drew inspiration for Rebels from Princess Mononoke. So like, with the talking wolves and stuff, their whole design and everything.
Okay,
What
well,
was-
really,
what
it's
was
only the
the-
one wolf that talks in Princess Mononoke, and it's voiced by Gillian Anderson in the dub.
Who
I
is-
know that off the top of my
I was
head.
going to say, is that supposed to mean anything?
What do you guys not? Have you guys not watched the X-Files?
No.
No.
Come on,
No,
don't do this to me, man.
I'm sorry.
Don't do this to me.
Another show I tried to get into, but it's not for me.
I say I tried, but I really didn't.
Okay,
I
I'm
love
gonna
the
have a
X-Files.
brief confession. I'm with you. It was not a fair attempt.
Like, I
I think it was my sisters were watching it, and I go, "What's this garbage?"
No, because I had heard everyone talk about the
No,
X-Files.
everyone loves it. Even the reboot they did a couple years back.
Okay, I
So-
don't think everyone loves that, but continue.
Well, no, they're into the idea. Sorry.
So I was home alone. I was bored out of my mind. And I went, I'll try it.
Did two gentlemen named Marv and Harry show up?
Yes, they did.
They tried to break in?
No.
No. Okay.
So I was already tired and bored. I didn't really want to watch it anyways. So after about 5 minutes, I went, nah.
All right, so here's the thing about the X-Files, though. So there's you can split X-Files episodes up into like two sort of piles. There's like the Monster of the Week episodes, and then there's the Myth Arc episodes. And the Myth Arc episodes are what they called the ones that actually advance the plot. Mm-hmm. Now the plot's insane. The plot's complete and utter bullshit. It barely makes sense. There are some really good plot-heavy episodes, but a lot of the good ones are when they really cook up a cool Monster of the Week. I'm struggling with the names of episodes, but there's one that's basically The Thing, and it friggin' rules.
The thing that does the thing with stuff
In the place.
All right, shut up. It's a movie. It's a movie.
in the time.
So, Kenobi.
So Kenobi, you're right. Yes,
All right.
let's move to that current science fiction TV show.
We open on the sands of Tatooine.
Again.
For like the umpteenth time.
I was left for dead on the sands of Tatooine.
That's crazy, bro. So is everyone else, apparently.
Then... Alright, so anyways.
You think you're special?
They focused a lot on Tatooine.
I never saw it coming.
No, I didn't either. It was just total surprise.
So with the actual lore of the planet itself, did you know it used to be an ocean planet?
I did know that, actually.
Good.
Yes.
Most people should, because it's just a throwaway line in either the show or one of the movies.
Well, so my assumption at that point is that George Lucas probably read Dune. Did George Lucas read Dune?
Yes, so actually, you can see the parallels.
Okay, yeah, because
he
Okay.
cited it as inspiration. Yes, he didn't try to hide it at all.
that's fascinating to me. That is it just inspiration? Because I cannot imagine anyone who is more either just the complete opposite or an intentional misinterpretation of Paul Atreides, Luke Skywalker. Just to be clear here, Dune rules. I love Dune.
Now, clarify even further. The book.
Yeah, the book. I have mixed feelings about the movie.
I haven't seen either.
You haven't seen the book?
No, the original movie and then the reboot they did.
Oh, we're
I
talking
haven't
about
seen-
either movie.
I
Okay,
haven't
so
seen either.
I'm actually
I didn't
this
know
is
they
a
made them.
controversial opinion.
So you like the new one?
No, I was going to say I don't 100% hate the old movie.
Oh, see, I thought people preferred the old one.
No. There's not a lot of people.
See, the only
prefer
thing I
old
know
one.
about the original Dune was the visual effects done for their shields.
Yeah, so their shields make them look like Roblox, and it friggin' rules.
I was gonna say, aesthetically, I kind of dig it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like here's
It's
the
very
thing.
retro.
Is it Dune? No. David Lynch 110% did not read those books.
Neither have I.
Yeah, but he made the movie, Steve. You didn't make the damn movie.
I didn't say I did. I was just adding that I haven't read it.
Point being, he didn't read the books. The movie ends, and it's like, no, you know what? Paul Atreides actually is the hero, philosopher king. And it's like, no, that's no. And it rains, and it's like, oh look, it's raining now on the desert. It's like, no, this is a bad thing. This is bad.
So Kenobi?
Anyway, okay, fine. Reel me back in. I'm sorry. I get talking about Dune, and it just.
All right,
listen,
let's start in
those books are
chronological
long.
order. All right, so first episode, thoughts on it? What happens in it first? I guess just brief recap.
In the first
In
episode.
the first episode, we're introduced to.
Well, we see Obi-Wan go to the meatpacking plant. 3
yes, so they're
times.
harvesting some sort of like sand whale, and we're seeing that he has a typical 9 to 5,
Yep.
just butchering this thing.
He's working 9 to 5.
It's the only line of the song I know.
I know.
Something about a way to make a living.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5.
Thank you.
Introduced to the third sister, Riva. So she's new. She hasn't been, as far as I know, in any of the other graphic novels or anything, or video games. We knew the fifth brother, and obviously the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels.
And they're looking for. Did we ever get a name on
We
the
did.
Jedi? Was it only in the credits? Because I don't think they
It
said
might
it.
have just been in the subtitles.
It's
and credits.
Paja, right? He's a Jedi.
That's
He is a
episode
Jedi.
2.
That's what I got out of that.
He is a Jedi.
So let's see. We see his 9 to 5. We learn that there's Jedi hunters called Inquisitors. So if you didn't know that already, you've just learned that. They give a good little brief exposition by just going, "The Jedi are like an itch." And,
No, I thought it was the Jedi code is like an itch.
same thing.
Whatever, dude.
Semantics with wording. English hard. They're hunting a Jedi. They find him. He escapes. Obi-Wan refuses to help him. He dies. He feels guilty. Princess Leia is with her adopted parents, Bail Organa, and I never remember her name.
Spoilers.
And she has some of the greatest chase scenes in cinema history.
Phenomenal.
Getting
choreography
blocked
on
by
that.
a branch.
Gets kidnapped. Obi-Wan has to leave planet and rescue her. Episode 1. Thoughts?
My only gripe with episode 1 was the Leia being chased. Like those scenes, like it annoys me.
I'll be honest, I don't like chase scenes, just in general.
I mean, they're everywhere. I've made my peace with that.
Star Wars especially has a bad track record with chase scenes in particular.
You mean like a chase scene for a movie?
Yeah, like The Last Jedi. As everyone so famously likes to call it, the worst cat and mouse chase ever.
Yeah, that was rough.
Do they have any other chase scenes?
They have lots of chase scenes.
Like outside of their shows, like just in the movies.
Oh, hold on, let me think.
Well, on Endor, on the speeders.
Yeah, that's a chase scene.
Yeah, but that was beautiful. Oh, Han Solo tapping the trooper.
Well, you didn't.
Hey!
You didn't say that it was bad chase scenes.
That's true.
You just asked for other chase scenes.
Correct.
I mean, when you think about it really hard, a race is kind of just a chase scene, right?
With a lot of participants, but no one's it.
Really, it's more like now this is pod chasing.
I'm a pod chaser.
I believe Han and Chewie were chased down a hallway after they turned a corner into an entire bay of stormtroopers.
A lot of people do a lot. They chase a lot of things, and in general, not the strongest part of whatever thing it appears in.
No.
Nope. But, I mean, these chase scenes were rough. Like, how do you let a 10-year-old girl who's, like, I'm pretty sure when she runs, her feet are just sideways. Because, like, there's no way you can't catch someone that
and
slow.
obviously we're not talking smack on the actress. She's 10.
Not her fault she can't walk.
Yeah.
That's what they said about me because of my silly little flat feet.
Are you flat-footed?
I'm a terrible flat
my
foot.
arch. I have extremely arched feet.
I'm a terrible flat foot, and like that kid, she definitely ran better than I could run when I was 10.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's staggering. You watched it happen. Me attempting anything resembling a feat of athleticism.
Yep, I have a
Feet. I see what you did.
I have a specific moment that comes to mind. I won't do that to you.
Now, I just want to remind you that this will be preserved on the memory of the internet forever.
That's why I'm not gonna bring it up.
I
but
appreciate that deeply.
something comes to mind.
So another thing to bring up from episode 1 that I really love what they're doing with these shows, like starting with The Mandalorian and it continued into the Book of Boba Fett and is now present here. I love the little touches of world interaction they do, such as with the Jawa interacting with Obi-Wan. And just that brief scene, you're not only gaining some exposition and some answers as to like, oh, what he's doing even with the Jawa, but also, it's building a relationship with these just characters that showed up, that stole R2 and 3PO in the very first film, and then just are portrayed as junkers, right? So then with Mando season 1, you're learning, oh, these guys are kind of like really funny.
They are funny.
Suga! Freaking taking Obi-Wan's stuff and then selling it back to him. They're little scamps. I love
They
it.
are. They really are.
But yeah, it's like little touches like that the interaction with the world around them, not just background characters. It's a nice touch.
You got him thinking over there.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Just
That's why I kind of kept repeating what I was saying, but with different wording.
I
'cause I was
appreciate
like,
that.
He's baking something there.
I'm cooking something. I'm
can
cooking
smell
something
it.
up.
So, any other things from episode 1 you really appreciate, or what stood out?
Not that I haven't already brought up. The chase scenes is what stood out to me, but for all the wrong reasons. Like, how do you get stopped by a branch? Like, come on.
I mean, yeah. If they were high, I'd get it, but they didn't get high until the second episode.
No, I can't. I mean, I liked the intro to Kenobi. I loved the finale.
Everything in between.
I mean, there were moments, like, I liked all the episodes, but I definitely feel it got better as it went on.
The show, unfortunately, for me, and probably the same with a lot of other people, suffered from expectations that cannot be met. Impossible expectations.
See, I don't know what I was expecting. That wasn't it,
That was not it
but
at
I
all for
don't know
me.
what it was.
So I found it cool, though, that, like, I predicted some things, but I was joking. So, like, the whole Leia side arc, in a couple episodes of our podcast back, when we did predictions of what could happen in the show, one of the things I brought up was like, oh, maybe they'll have a little Leia and he goes off on an adventure with her because she's in trouble or something. So he's not just the expected, what everyone expected, him interacting and protecting Luke, which
So
they
Steve,
didn't
what
do
is
at
it
all.
like to be given the gift of clairvoyance?
Clairvoyance?
You can see the future.
I can't see the future.
Well, clearly you can, because you said that on a previous episode.
I'm just like many other people who probably came up with the same thought.
No, you're clairvoyant.
Somewhat correctly predicted the changes to Doomfist.
So my point with that, though, was not to be like, oh, look, I can have a thought. It was just to be like, this is something I really didn't expect them to actually go with. And then I was surprised that they actually did.
The one thing I would have bet on it that I thought they were going to do was have Obi-Wan go to Shmi's grave and apologize.
Oh, that would have made me die.
I was ready for it.
Well, like, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. It's like, if you're gonna keep sticking people on Tatooine, if we're gonna keep seeing Tatooine, give us something important on Tatooine.
I mean, we did get the Lars homestead.
Yeah, but, like, give
Rey
us something.
buries lightsabers there.
Give us something that, like, does something for one of the characters there. You know? Like, don't just bring us back to Tatooine because people love to see the sand. Yeah, send Obi-Wan to the grave.
I would have bet money on it
I
before the
would've
series
cried
started.
if they showed that scene.
I mean, I would have.
Ooh, my heart would have broken, but for all the right reasons.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe now that he sees him as Darth and not Anakin, he can do it in season 2.
Some subtle dialogue choices.
I don't know how subtle it was. They really needed to figure out a way to handle that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no.
So, let's talk Moses Ilgrim. Is that her name?
Ingram.
Ingram. No hate on her, right? Just clarifying.
Like,
No,
I actually think as the show went on, and she sort of got out of. Once we knew, they took way too long to actually make her a character.
Yes.
And once they did, I was on board. Like the last 2 episodes,
Totally.
I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm into this. I get this. I get, like, did they write her, like, into a total corner? Absolutely. But like once they were like, okay, this is what's going on with her, which like you could see coming a mile away. Of course, she was a youngling.
Yes.
Like that was. What else was her backstory gonna be? But like, I just wish they led with it, because once you got to that point and got her to sort of deviate from like she was very clearly working in like a Anakin Kylo Ren sort of mold, right, of that archetype. And once they sort of broke her away from that and like gave, and especially in the last episode, right at the very, very end, I was actually like if they got her there sooner, I would have been totally on board the whole time. Or like, because the show feels like it's kind of split in two, right? Like it wants to be the Obi-Wan show and it wants to be the Riva show.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And if they like, I would actually really like to see her in her own show that started like 2/3 of the way through where she was in Obi-Wan. Like if we start from there and it's like, this is what happened to her. She tries this. Maybe she has a bit more of a thought out plan than like, here's Darth Vader with nothing else to focus on. I'm just going to spark up and, give him my best chop. Like if she has a more thought out plan than that and whatever, but like same general beats, I would have been super on board.
This seems to be a consistent theme with a lot of the more modern Star Wars is answers later.
Yeah, I don't
Content
want
now, answers later.
I don't want answers later.
Exactly.
The whole thing should be the answer,
Now, one thing that they did well, like to counter that, I guess, in Force Awakens is it's like not that long into that movie, they drop the information that Kylo Ren is Han and Leia's son, rather than trying to build it up into the whole, Luke, I'm your father kind of name drop, but no one would have like bought into that as well. But like if they actually gave us more information sooner, because there's a difference between the mystery on a character and then just flat out poorly portraying somebody at first, which I agree, like that happened kind of with her, because they kind of show her there, she tries to show that she's important, has significance, but from the viewer's standpoint, we're kind of like, just shut up. Like, you just follow what the Grand Inquisitor says, because he's an established character. We know him. We know his authority. We don't know you at all, but you are just kind of... You're not coming off right.
Like, I want to see a story of someone bailing on the Inquisitors. I want to see that. That sounds awesome.
Hey, I want to see a stormtrooper defect. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but like same thing, right? It's like
They
you
just
have
don't know how to handle that kind of character, clearly.
But it's such a...
They did Finn dirty.
Yeah, they did Finn real dirty. They did Finn real friggin' dirty. I just think that like they keep doing this, of like you have this really, really, really good premise for a character. And this sort of like the premise has conflict baked into it, which is great because you have somewhere to take that character. And then they're just like, no. Actually, we changed our mind. We're good. Or like that big character beat that Riva has in the last episode, right? Of like, I'm free of this. Where do I go from here? Is like, that should be the first character beat in learning where to go from there, right? And if that was the story they wanted to tell, I would have loved that. That would have rocked. But that wasn't the story they wanted to tell, which sucked. And it's like I get. Clearly, they want to do more with this character, and they're doing the sort of like Disney sitcom thing of like introducing the character for a couple episodes to get the audience to know them, and then look, they've got their own show now.
Yeah, which it's like you should have.
Like that's crazy. Anakin Skywalker's on the SS Tipton.
Oh, damn. How did you formulate that one? Dang, that's awesome.
That was a good one.
But like, and then look, there's the Anakin show. But like, you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, you get what I'm saying.
Oh man. I'm still going off of SS Tipton. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Well, so episode 2 of the Kenobi
Right,
show.
sorry, I kind of jumped back to 6 and then...
Hey.
We're discussing
That's
the
what-
episodes in the machete order. It's actually the same order as the movies. It's not. It's not. The machete order doesn't even go that way. Actually, it drops one
I was
altogether.
going to say, did they skip a 4?
They don't skip 4. They bounce around a bit,
Oh,
though. It's
okay.
like, how it goes like what? It goes 4, 5, 2, 3, 6 or something like that.
So we
4,
still...
5, you get the...
What about 1? 4, 5, 2,
No, they
3,
skip
6.
1. Machete order skips 1.
Trejo's Tacos.
Okay.
So maybe that's 1. He just needs like a show about his taco business.
Oh, it's not that machete, dude.
It's not that machete.
No, it's not that machete. It's not Danny Trejo.
Oh.
Although machete rules. Machete rocks. He rappels down the building with someone's intestines. That movie friggin' shreds. I love grindhouse shit like that.
So, what are your thoughts on the second episode of Kenobi?
Remind me what happens in the second episode
All right,
of Kenobi.
so second episode, we pick up immediately where we left off. He is now on another district planet. Name escapes me. Don't think I ever learned it.
It's basically just a grimy Coruscant.
Right,
It
this is
looks
Blade
just
Runner
like it.
Planet. This is
Yes,
Blade Runner
actually,
Planet.
Yeah, it's the one that I know they did describe it to. They were heavily inspired by Hong Kong.
So it's Blade Runner Planet.
Yes. So Obi-Wan is there. He rescues Leia. She runs away and has another delightful chase scene with
Yay,
the
chase
third sister
scene.
making every bounty hunter go, hey, let's chase Obi-Wan for this really amazing award. None of them get him because they all suck. We meet Kumail Nanjiani's amazing Jedi character.
Yeah, he does that.
Yep.
I just want to give him a shout out. I thought he was great the entire series.
Also, his workout routine. Nice.
I have a friend. This is neither here nor there. Well, it's kind of there, but not here. So I have a friend who has proposed that there are 3 kinds of superhero movie. And you've got what is it? What are the 3 kinds? There's like
The origin, the team up.
well no, that it's like dark and gritty.
Buddy cop.
Look at all these guys we put in one movie, and look at this sick workout routine we gave this comedian that you remember from like 10 years ago.
The first content I saw with him was Silicon Valley.
I don't think I've seen that.
It was pretty good. He played your typical loser,
I'm like,
and then he got jacked, and everybody was afraid to put him in that role again.
my like brain short circuited, and I was like, is that the same as Halt and Catch Fire? But it's not.
The guy who plays Gabe from The Office is also in it.
Anyways, back to the Star Wars.
Star Wars. So the Grand Inquisitor kills the guy who kidnapped Leia. So yay. Riva stabs Grand Inquisitor, and Obi-Wan escapes off planet.
And
with...
the Grand Inquisitor he dies. He super dies. He for real dies, like he's toast. Definitely dead.
Toastier than Anakin.
Not quite, but
No, he's toastier.
I want to say toastier.
He's toastier.
Okay.
So episode 3.
Oh, well, now thoughts on episode 2. That was the recap.
Episode 2 is where it starts getting shaky for me. Episode 2 is like, this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But where are you going with this?
So my first reaction when I first watched it, I was like, but it was because I was like, wait, no one's supposed to know who the identity of Vader. How the frick does she know? And then
Oh, like as soon
a
as
couple
she said
seconds
that,
later, I was like, oh wait, they show a flashback in the very opening of the first episode of Young. Like she's probably one of the younglings.
yeah, like as soon as she said that, I was like, she has to be one of the younglings
Yeah.
from Order 66.
But if they didn't go that route, I would have been very confused. because it just feels like they're taking some important, like some subtle but important story beats, like something as subtle as people not knowing that Anakin Skywalker is the same person as Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Astonishing.
No, my takeaway again. I'm gonna be negative because I always am with my takeaways. It makes sense now looking back on it, but I mean at the time, I didn't know why Riva was going as hard as she was,
Yes.
and not the actress's fault, but I felt like the character was just trying too hard. And watching her, I didn't take her seriously. I couldn't, can't, didn't, won't.
It's like in retrospect with like what we get out of the 5th and 6th episodes, like she's clearly got this like, or like they want us to think that she has this big long con, like real Count of Monte Cristo shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like she's thought this out. She's been thinking through this like ever since it happened. Like she's gonna find a way to get Anakin Skywalker. She's got her man. She's gonna wreck it. And yeah, just like, and I get that, and I get what they want to do with that, and in the moment it's cool, and it's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense for this character. But then everything on the left side of that, like up until that, it's like this doesn't make any sense at all for a character who's got this big plan to get Anakin. I don't know, like, yeah, it's just like, what are you doing? This is not the move of a like decade-long plot to like, no, you were just like, oh, he's here, time to no, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, that I really wasn't expecting her to do a move like that. Like, not only because of we know that the Grand Inquisitor's alive in Rebels, but at the same time I was just like, why the fuck would you just stab him?
It's just
such makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just a very,
like, there's no strategy.
it's just a very impulsive move
Yes.
for somebody who like we then are told like has been planning this for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And also that like she tries to pull the same move on Darth Vader. It's like it's just like, oh, his back's to me, and it's like some more tact could be used here.
Mm-hmm. She could have maybe felt this. I could be just projecting, but she might have felt exposed in her plan, maybe.
Well, here's my other question: is like these people all like, not that they can. So like, not to be glib.
I think I know where you might go.
But like,
continue.
No, just this is a decades-long franchise about vibe wizards with laser swords.
Yes.
So like, why is it that our buddy Rupert our friend, was not picking up on the vibes that he was about to get lasered through right there? I feel like
the Force works in mysterious
yeah, the
ways.
Force works in mysterious ways. It's just a lot of people seem to like. The Force seems to work in some ways when they want it to work in some ways,
Yeah.
in some way, and
No, literally.
I just think maybe Buddy should have seen something coming.
I think he was blinded by his own arrogance, honestly. If you want an actual explanation, because you can see he's like, oh, I'm going to get all the credit.
Like, sure,
I'm
but
gonna
how
go
many
get Obi-Wan.
how many people in one universe can be blinded by their own arrogance? Doesn't someone learn at some point?
No.
No, human nature. They get the taste of power, and they get the arrogance, and then they think they're hot shit.
I don't know if it is human nature, though. I think that, like...
Or alien nature, I don't know.
Well,
It's a galaxy
Boo.
far, far away nature.
like, I just think that maybe different people should react to things differently instead of all suddenly becoming idiots.
See, that would just make too much sense, though, Eamon.
Like, sure, it would make sense, but also it would make for a more compelling...
I'm
like-
trying to be devil's advocate on them. I wholeheartedly agree with you on this. I'm just trying to help them out.
whatever, man. I just think if she had this big bad plan for 10 years, I want to see the big bad plan. I want to see how I want to see the threads come together. You know? I want to see like the whole, and at the end be like, "Oh, that was the plan."
Well, you know how normally you start making a thread, right?
Uh-huh.
You have a start point. They kind of just went to the thrift shop, grabbed something that was half done, and then started in a bunch of different places and got lazy.
Like I know that I know that you guys aren't anime guys, but like it's like in like one of the
Death Note.
No, it's not like friggin'
with Demon Slayer.
It's not like friggin' Death Note.
I don't know. I just know these are animes.
No, but there's some shows that are just shockingly well plotted for the amount of insane bullshit that happens.
Yes.
And at the end it's like, "Oh, they really did plan that all out. That makes sense now." And it like totally doesn't make sense if you try and like verbalize it to someone. but like while you're watching it and you're like, you know, sort of, and you're buying into that world, it's like, "Oh, I get how that works. I understand what they're doing. This was the plan all along." And we don't get that this was the plan all along with Riva's whole thing, you know? She did a thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then she tells us that all of those things are connected. And we don't get that they're connected.
Well, you could also see that maybe Obi-Wan kind of sparked it to happen, or he kind of like rushed it on her, because he's like, "Oh, I'm bringing him to you." So maybe she just wasn't ready, but she's kind of like, "Well, I don't see any better opportunity, so maybe I will just do this." I mean, she had the Jedi Order basically raise her, and then for only like her first like 10 years of life, and then it got abruptly changed. So you could also argue that she's not bright up here. Imagine a cult raising you, and then another cult continuing that are preaching like opposing things. So imagine like the kind of like not just emotional but psychological damage that she's got. So she's probably never going to be fully thinking logically.
I just think, like, well, nobody in this fucking universe is thinking logically. But, I just think that I just want to see the plays. I want to see something and then be like, "Oh, I get it." And we don't have that. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's no point where I get it. And I begrudge it for that. I want to get it. Getting it is fun.
Fair.
Well, then you'll be happy to know that there's at least one show that keeps up with that. Just wait for season 3 of Bando. Because they start with something, and then it's going to keep going in directions we didn't see, and then you're going to see, hey, this actually was planned out.
With the I don't know what. I don't know, man. Oh, did they leaked a thing or whatever?
Yeah, he
right?
was telling us about that the other day. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
at it.
so at Star Wars Celebration a couple
Oh,
weeks
there's gonna
ago,
be Baby Yoda clones.
So like everybody wanted them to go the like Heir to the Empire route, which was the original like sequel trilogy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
That Luke
they're
clones.
basically doing that. Oh yeah, baby. Bad Batch is connecting to it. They
Oh,
even
that's
have
close
the
enough
same,
to Baby Yoda clones.
basically. Who knows? I don't.
Maybe
I can't
Baby Yoda
confirm
is Luke.
No, because he's 50 years old.
Yeah, but like maybe though.
Time travel. They do have the world between worlds. You are right.
I'm just saying, what if Baby Yoda was Luke?
That would be an interesting what if episode. I'd watch that.
I think Baby Yoda's Luke.
So episode 3 of Kenobi, they land on that mining planet and they get sold out by a mole, a literal mole.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Obi-Wan causes a stormtrooper to get cut in half by a gate.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was
Yeah, that was pretty
awesome.
grisly for Star
And
Wars.
then Vader snaps a kid's neck.
Yeah, that was a bit. That was a lot.
This is when the show starts to pick up a bit. And then episode 4 happens, and they have some winning scenes, and then the majority of the episode kind of goes downhill. And then 5 and 6 happen, and you're like, holy jeez balls.
Sorry, I'm also looking up the Mando season 3 since.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so at Star Wars Celebration, they released the trailer for that, the Ahsoka show, Andor, a bunch of other things, and Star Wars content, Tales from the Jedi, or of the Jedi. And they finally leaked some of those trailers onto YouTube.
Now, here's the thing. I have a feeling that they're going to run into the same damn problem with the Andor show, which is that something needs to happen to Buddy Guy. Something big happens to him, and then nothing.
Which buddy guy?
Friggin' Cassian Andor.
Oh, okay. So as far as we know, this takes place just a couple years after the Kenobi show where we are. And it's going to show his planet, his homeworld, and why he hates the Empire.
I bet it's another desert planet.
Actually, no. They show in the trailer it's not. Quite the opposite. There's lots of water.
I bet he's going to end up on a desert planet.
Probably.
I bet it's going to be the
point.
same damn desert planet.
No, surprisingly, I was into the trailer. I dug it. The editing of it looked really good. The casting in it, too.
See, I'll watch it, but...
Well, there's a reason why it's coming out only like a month and a half after Kenobi. It's to hold us over until Mando 3.
I just like here's the thing with so Mando was like the premise of Mando is great because it's like, you know, you got this big chunk of time between like when the two trilogies happen, right? You've got this big chunk of time where this guy that we've never seen before kind of doesn't really need to be anywhere. Like, he can just do what he's got to do, and you can tell whatever story you want. And then he needs to meet a goddamn Skywalker. And I'm like, can everybody in the goddamn galaxy not have a Skywalker in their friggin' Rolodex? Like, why, like I get, like Baby Yoda's he's a Baby Yoda. And he does the Force. He does the magic hand thingy. And there's
Hey baby, do the magic hand thingy.
and there's one guy in the damn galaxy now who's helping people do the magic hand thingy. Like, I get it. I understand. However, it just makes everything feel so small. You know? It's like and he pulls up and it's like, "Oh, look, there's Ahsoka. We know her." And then Luke Skywalker pulls up again and goes friggin' Terminator on the Terminators, I guess. They kind of look like Terminators. But it's like
The Dark Troopers?
yeah. I want a show where I don't see someone's glub shitto. Have I explained glub shitto to you, Mashal?
You have not.
All right, so glub shitto is like, this is like a tweet from like 2020. And it's just a joke about, like, you know, you watch Star Wars and there's that one character that's in like whatever, you know, that you've seen before, and it's like your character, and you're like, oh wow, I can't believe they put this guy from, you know, this animated series or this comic or whatever in the show I'm watching. It's like, there's glub shitto.
Okay.
Right.
I want to watch a show without anyone's glub shitto.
That's fair.
But I like seeing Glove Shadow.
It's a galaxy far, far away. It's not a cul-de-sac far, far away.
But I mean,
There are stories that
it would
don't
make
include
sense
glub
that,
shitto.
They would eventually meet up, though, if they're playing as huge roles as they are. The likelihood of them eventually meeting up drastically increases.
I don't think the likelihood... Like, sure, it increases, but on a galactic scale, I don't know about
Force,
that.
Eamon. They are bringing them together.
I just think that there are interesting stories to tell that we don't get to hear because we're so concerned with showing people their glub shittos. That's my position.
I just don't think it takes anything away by including them, though.
It's more just like, what could you have that you're not having because we need to see, because, you know, oh, there's glub shitto. It's like, no, we could like I'm gonna say it. I think Obi-Wan should have stayed at the meatpacking plant. And then meet somebody who doesn't friggin' matter for the rest of Star Wars and do shit with them. Or there's this even if we do want to see someone's glove shitto, there was this thing I saw online that I thought was an interesting pitch that was like, what if instead of, bending over backwards to make another fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin makes sense, what if instead the conflict is with somebody else, somebody who's already on Tatooine, who maybe has, a bone to pick with the Jedi? Like Boba Fett. Who's already there and would probably be reasonably rather mad at Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But wouldn't he be a glove shitto?
But that's my point, is even if we accept the conceit that we need to see someone's glove shitto, there are things you can do that require less narrative bending over backwards and stay a bit more grounded. I would imagine after watching his father and Obi-Wan throw down in episode 2, and knowing that, hey, Obi-Wan was probably somehow involved with the guys that chopped my dad's head off, I would imagine our buddy Boba Fett would probably not be super happy, and I don't know. And then you would get to have the whole you made me this way, this is your fault. You would get to have that whole conflict without finding a way to twist and bend into oh well, here's how all these lines still make sense. Because we don't need to have anybody in place for that besides the fact that they both live at the end. That's it. There's no other baggage that needs to be in the same place when things start and things stop. I don't know. Just saw that online. Thought it was an interesting take. You can still have you can not just a glove shitto, but the Boba Fett is the glove shitto. He is the glove shitto. People love Boba Fett, even though he says almost nothing in the original trilogy.
And his voice wasn't cool until Tamora Morrison.
He's just a guy that people think looks cool, and they want to see him in everything after that. He is the glove shitto, and people would, and then plus then you don't have to deal with. It's just oh hey, what if the Boba Fett TV show was this instead? And then we kind of squish all these things together. Everybody goes friggin' nuts. And you can make it longer too. Look, it can be longer. You can tide people over to the Mandalorian. It's just there's a lot of check boxes that could all be checked at once. That sounds like an okay idea to me.
Honestly, I'd be okay with Obi-Wan and Boba. I'm okay with that.
I'm confused.
The pitch he was talking about?
Oh, I was hearing Obi-Wan in Boba,
No,
so I thought, okay, I heard in, and I was like, idiot, how do I say this nicely? He's dead! He can't be in the Boba Fett show.
No, I'd be okay with that. Absolutely.
So, actually, I believe in that other episode when I talked about potentially, something happening to Leia. I said something about Forlom or one of those bounty hunters that just briefly show up the first time we see Boba. So I was show one of those guys that never go further. So it's most people probably wouldn't even know that they showed up for a minute in one of the original movies, but then other people who just would have seen them a bajillion times.
Nah, just have Bosk do it.
Dude, Bosk should
just have Bosk do it.
But that's beating a dead horse, so I'm not gonna bring that up.
Bosk a dead horse?
Oh, no, I was going to say, or I was saying bring Bosk into the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep. I thought we were going to see him.
Missed opportunity. But it's okay.
Sorry, we got another cool guy in there.
Yes, we did. The mods. Robert Rodriguez. All right, so what do you think of episode 3? Because we talked briefly what happened. A mole moles them out.
Mole guy pulls up. They get in the truck.
Vader snap neck.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan get burned out.
Dude tells you to pull up to the tailgate. You show up, realize he's got a Confederate flag in the back of his car.
I really liked seeing Vader go all neck snappy on people.
Dude, dragging them with the Force. Never lifting a hand, right?
I think he was just
by him.
brain blasting it.
I know in the comics and whatnot that he's big strong.
Yeah.
He's big, strong.
And then we see a
And-
glimpse of that in the Vader Immortal game.
Yep, and I mean they start to showcase it a little bit at the end of Rogue One in that hallway scene. Where he just goes, no,
Merciless Massacre, baby.
no. So I really liked it. He just actually he went big strong, ape berserk. He was a man on a mission,
Barbarian.
and I liked actually seeing him just slaughter people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the location was cool too. Something we haven't really seen. It looked like what's that construction site by your place?
I don't think it.
Something Perkins.
Oh, Pandolph Perkins.
Pandolph Perkins. It is. Yeah,
Hmm.
Pandolph Perkins. It was the Star Wars Pandolph Perkins. Eamon, thoughts? Because I just concur with Zach. That was like a win for me.
I do think that watching Vader go ballistic was like, one, this makes sense for where we're supposed to understand Vader, Anakin, whatever, where we are supposed to understand him to be as a character at this point, that he is still, this spiteful, petulant. He is strong, but he is petty, and he is needlessly, like, the Vader that we see in the original trilogy is much more methodical. He's older, he's slower, but he's also like for instance, the fight between him and Obi-Wan in the original trilogy versus the fight between him and Obi-Wan here.
Yes.
Those are very different fights. That fight is a lot more similar to the Maul Obi-Wan fight in Rebels.
Yep.
The original trilogy fight between the two of them. So it was cool to see. It was cool to see where he is as a character reflected in what he does. I like that. I'm into that. I want more of that. I do think that after seeing this, that scene at the end of Rogue One, I'm a little bit shakier on it now, because it's like at that point he should be slowing down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
He should be fighting a little bit more methodically instead of just going absolutely buck wild. But overall, cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some questions about how if he was able to just brain blast dudes, why fire getting a bit taller stopped him from yoinking Obi-Wan. But, like at the end of the episode,
Mm-hmm.
like when, he's got Obi-Wan, he's gonna scorch Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah, he's dragging him.
Yeah. And then, Tala
Yep,
Yes.
Tala.
shoots the thing, and explosion. The fires get bigger, and then they're able to scurry Obi-Wan away to safety. Give him the hook, and pull him off stage.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't he brain blast Obi-Wan too? Like, I know plot requires him not to.
Yeah, maybe. Well, like you said, he's not as methodical, so he might have been petty. Like, I kind of want to injure you. Maybe I can awaken something so I can, when I kill you, you're stronger. So he'll feel better about it.
There's a lot of people not killing people when they should be killing people in this show.
Yeah, there really is. It's definitely not without its flaws.
Well, I get that it makes it more dramatic when people just whoop their back. I want one person in this goddamn show to double tap. Just one of them. Just make sure someone's dead.
Spoiler, not even Qui-Gon double taps.
Yeah, like
Guy gets stabbed, he goes now.
just once. Somebody make sure that someone that they killed is
Well, listen,
dead.
Disney established this with Episode 9. No one's ever really gone.
Like, because who definitively that's like a main character or an important character definitively dies? Qui-Gon? Eventually Anakin bites it.
As far as we know, Windu.
I'm not putting it past him.
Oh, I'm not either. Trust
I'm not putting
me.
it past him for a goddamn minute.
No. No, honestly, we've all been waiting for it, but I will be completely okay if he stays dead.
I'm betting big money that they bring Mace Windu back.
See, that's how I thought about Obi-Wan going to Shmi's grave, so I think I'm going to learn my lesson and not bet big money on that one.
Nah, listen. Eventually, Sam Jackson's schedule's got to free up.
I mean, the dude's also like 70 years old.
How old is friggin' Liam Neeson at this point?
He's also in his 70s.
Yeah, but I mean,
Black don't crack, though.
that is true. Right.
Like, here's the thing: is like it'd be totally possible to be like, oh look, where's Mace Windu been hiding this whole time? Oh, like they could do. No, I guess it wouldn't be exactly the same because like Mace Windu's got the whole like his fighting style is like he redirects the bad vibes.
Yes.
You know,
He taps into the dark to use it against his opponent.
That's what I said.
Yep. But I was putting it into English terms.
Because like his whole thing is like he like what's the actual thing? It's like he redirects the. There's some redirect.
Mm-hmm.
He redirects.
I know he can also like sense weaknesses in everyone's fighting style.
Shatter point.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
I don't know what that is.
That's exactly what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, he can sense the weak points in everyone's fighting style. That's how he's able to overcome basically.
So
everything.
basically, picture like a target for just the sake of an example, like on your weak shoulder. He sees it.
That's how he was able to start to beat the Emperor before Anakin showed up.
So he's got the reads.
Yes. Yep. He's got the cheat codes.
He's got wall hacks. Mace Windu's got wall hacks.
He had God mode on until Anakin disabled it.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got window hacks too. He can go right through those, dude.
Yes, he can.
Woof.
Oh, yeah.
So episode 4.
Episode 4.
What happened in that one?
You want to take this one or you want me?
What happened in that one?
All right, recap. End of episode 3, because I don't think we said it. Riva captures Leia, so we pick up with her being interrogated by Riva in the Fortress Inquisitorius, which is a funny name, but a kick-ass name at the same time. I like it. I dig a pointless fortress in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, we love pointless fortresses in the middle of the ocean.
But what is the tactical advantage?
That it's in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, but how are they gaining? People can just clearly swim and infiltrate, so I'm not seeing their advantage there. And then 2 speeders came in undetected and then shot up the fortress. They had no cannons, so they have no tactical advantage here.
But it's in the middle of the ocean.
And they've been infiltrated by both air and water. Which
Rule of cool,
water
baby.
is
Rule of
supposed
cool.
to be their number 1 defense.
Yeah, but like no ground. You can't infiltrate through the ground. Where 99% of infiltrations happen.
But you can go under it, and actually, yes, you can go over it.
99% of infiltrations happen within 2 miles of home, Steve.
Yes, and what's the percentage on
DMV says.
If you own a gun, like the chances of it being used against you are like increased or whatever.
Well, I think clearly they'd be higher than if you didn't own one
Exactly.
being used against you.
That's why I have knives, because they are 100% going to be used by me against me.
I think they will. I think. No, I'm not.
That face.
I'm not a math magician here.
Math magician.
But I think you are more likely to have a weapon of your own used against you if you own a weapon than if you don't own a weapon because you can't have it used against you.
Exactly.
And that's
nonsense.
just simple math.
Exactly.
That's just simple math, baby.
Exactly.
What kind of math books are you reading?
Doesn't matter.
What was that stupid shit we had to do?
Called
in,
the
like,
Common
second
Core.
grade?
The Common Core.
Had a weird name.
You mean like lattice multiplication?
No. We had like
That was
specific books. Phonics. Was that English?
Okay, well, phonics is just a word for doing words.
Is that what that means?
Or like phonetics. It's like Point being, yes, you were talking about the English stuff. You were talking about your
the
spelling.
English words.
You're talking about your spelling.
Gotcha.
That's not math.
Just silly curriculum. Anyway, so she's being interrogated by Riva on Fortress Inquisitorius. Obi-Wan gets there by swimming, just like Cal Kestis. He stumbles across a room with... We don't know what the Jedi were encased in, but it kind of looked like...
Dem some glub shittos, baby. Dem some glub shittos.
Yeah. Which, fun fact, the same actor, one of the actors who played one of the younglings who gets slayed presumably with Riva's character, is credited to be the same youngling that's encased. So that is some dark shit that she has to see a kid who died with her encased in the fortress that she has to, like, basically live in. That's
effed up.
Yeah. That's dark.
It's a good way to keep her motivated.
Yeah.
I don't know how motivating that is.
I mean...
Like, I guess, like, yeah, this could happen to you is pretty motivating.
So let's see, what else happens? Oh, Obi-Wan becomes slightly Obi-Wan, and then he pulls some Pink Panther stuff and hides Leia underneath a trench coat.
Oh my god.
That rocked.
It was very funny, but I found that very infuriating.
Well, okay, one, it clearly wasn't supposed to be funny.
But I found that very funny.
I was going to say,
I found it wicked funny.
It was. They only introduced the new type of Imperial officer wearing a trench coat just for this. So how did you say they escape? He hides her underneath his Jedi robes, but she can't fit under that. All right, give him a trench coat. I don't know.
Also, dude looked like he was about to hire Robert Pattinson to work in the lighthouse with him.
He looked just like Willem Dafoe in the lighthouse. Beard and everything. Wet hair. Yeah, he was about to have some erotic mermaid visions.
Do they have mermaids in Star Wars?
I know they have Mon Cala.
That's not mermaids.
Nah.
So that's as close. It's like mermaids, but with fish for heads, and then the human body part.
That's like, you know what? I'll take it. That's a mermaid.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a reverse mermaid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what we know, that's like saying like reverse racism when someone's being racist to a white person.
Well, I mean, a mermaid is waist down fish, waist up human.
But can it be the other way around too, and still be a mermaid?
All right, so
Well, I mean,
I'm going to say yes.
If you reverse a centaur, so it's got like human legs with a horse body.
That's Bojack.
Actually, yeah, that is
BoJack Horseman. Oh, he's not a horse down there?
I don't know, man.
He doesn't have hooves? He's not just a walking horse?
He wears shoes, doesn't he?
I don't know. I've never seen the show.
I think he
I
wears
think he
just
shoes.
does wear
Well, he's got hands.
Yeah,
He does have hands?
He has
Okay.
hands.
He's not just walking around with hooves.
I've never seen it, so I assume
How's he supposed to, like-
How's he supposed
Do
to do all
alcoholic
of his
stuff.
drugs and his alcohol?
Isn't it Will Arnett?
It is Will Arnett.
I love Will Arnett.
He also plays the Dragon Lord in Tiny Tina's.
He also plays Batman in the Lego Batman, which is my favorite Batman movie.
He dropped out of the school I got my undergrad from.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's big alumni energy.
Big alumni. He also played the pervert doctor in Parks and Rec. He's given the X-rays. As
Oh,
a
yeah,
date
that's
night
right.
To Leslie, nope. You got a good oven there, Leslie. So tell me about your life. Well, stop talking.
I forgot about that episode.
Well, Arnett's great. He needs to be in Star Wars now.
I mean, they got Danny Trejo in.
They did. Yeah. All right, so then they get rescued. One rebel dies. Big sad, because no one cares.
Guys, oh, right. The one flying the plane.
Yeah.
Sorry. Starship.
Speeder.
Was it a speeder?
Technically, it's a speeder. They call them something.
Snow speeders.
Well, yeah, they're the same thing. They're like a type of speeder, but yeah, it's weird.
It's a Hoth speeder, but it's built for the ocean.
I believe they're actually towing speeders, and then that's how they worked them into work against the AT-ATs. Is because they use the towing cables.
It's a what do you call it? Planes that can skate on the water.
Yeah, it's like a tugboat, but
I'm
it's
not an
it's a
aviator.
spaceship.
I was very meh.
On that episode,
Yeah,
like I
super-
said, it had some high points. Like when that reveal of all the dead Jedi there, like I thought that was some. I loved that. I love seeing stuff like that.
Nothing I like sneaking into an Imperial fortress to rescue Princess Leia.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? Leia, it's me.
But like, nothing really amazed me. Nothing really made me go, "That sucks." It was very okay.
Any other thoughts, Eamon? Episode 4?
I personally think that. See, one thing I will say was kind of neat was when they're flying away, right, and then ship blows up. Kind of neat to see that, like, oh, this is what she has to do. She has to chuck the thing, and it explodes. And Homeskillet's able to just rip the damn thing out of the sky and rip it apart with his hand. It's like, that's kind of a cool thing.
Nice contrast in power.
Yeah, that like this is a one-man ship, and it's like all Riva can do is to
Throw a det pack.
yeah, chuck a thing that explodes at it and have it explode, and just a couple episodes later, an episode later,
The next episode.
2 episodes.
Because wasn't that episode 4 we just discussed? He rips the ship out of the sky.
Yeah,
episode
so it
5.
is
Yeah,
the next
yeah,
episode.
literally the next episode, Darth Vader's like,
Oh, one other phenomenal scene though we did get was, again, it had to do with Vader. He just comes in, stormed in, pissed off, immediately starts force choking her, and goes, "You failed me for the last time, bitch."
she's like,
coming in hot like that. I love seeing.
and then she's like, no, for plot reasons, I actually did a good thing.
and then he's like,
And he's like, okay, that's fine then.
And he had the big mad.
He did have the
He
big
had
mad.
the big mad.
He was big, strong, and big mad.
and then the poor fifth brother was left on the sidelines again.
All right, well, here's the
They
thing.
didn't really do much with him.
The Inquisitors did nothing.
Well,
the
that's
whole
my
show.
thing, is that there are people on the internet who are wrong. I know, crazy, but believe me, it happens. Who are like, you pitch in a fit about, the way that Riva was acted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have literally nothing to say about whatever weird, like, grumpy whisper the fifth brother was doing for the whole show.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like, that was way worse than, like, that sucked. That's like, you're just stalking around and you're talking like this real grumpy. Third sister.
It's like he's trying to yell at someone without waking up his parents in the next room.
Yeah.
I think I saw someone on the internet say that. Like,
Wait, for real?
exactly that. For real.
No
Like,
way.
yeah, like that's like he's using the voice that you use when you're pissed at your little brother but don't want to wake
See,
your
it's
mom up.
interesting. I didn't think the performance of that was bad, but I did, every time he spoke, think to myself, how did he talk in the anime show? And I couldn't remember at all. Just because he's only in a couple episodes before Maul kills him. And kills him in like 2 seconds.
Now I got a question. When they lose an Inquisitor,
Yeah.
do they get new ones?
I'm pretty sure they do, yeah. Because all Inquisitors are just ex-Jedi or mind-washed children.
Like sure, but like, I feel like the MO of the Inquisitors.
It's just to be hunters.
Well, yes, but what I'm saying is, their jobs would hypothetically limit the pool of successful applicants for future Inquisitors. You know what I'm saying?
I think they also,
Maybe
when
they don't
they're...
kill everyone.
Well, clearly they do some killing.
No, but you are correct. So they don't kill every single person. Like, they wanted to actually capture Ezra and turn him in Rebels. So that's an example of that. but I know that the Emperor just basically wanted them. He was creating them before even the Empire rose. Like, they show that story arc in the Clone Wars animated series. So he starts off early. He literally just wanted them to be Jedi hunters, and he cared more about just kind of getting the numbers than the power. I mean, you can even see that with just the Empire itself. It became so huge that he's like, yeah, I don't need to have skill. Just sheer numbers. So you're thinking too strategic and logically.
Yeah, that's sucks.
So episode 5.
Episode 5. All right, brief recap. Lola bot bad bot. Hack sky door, close it.
Yeah, so Lola goes bad and turns red. Eye turns red.
Yep, we know that from iRobot, that if it no longer blue, it red, it bad.
Yeah, red is bad.
Blue
and I'd really like to have a word with whoever the engineer is making these droids, because if it only goes red when it's bad, why put the red LED there? That seems like well, if the red is to indicate that it's bad
for the viewer.
Like, sure, whatever, but, like, if everything else we're just assuming it makes sense in universe, then, like, I just want to have a word with whoever's engineering these droids and whoever, like, doesn't put in the instruction manual that, hey, when it turns red, maybe something's wrong.
Well, R2 has a red light, doesn't he?
Yeah, but, like, the when the light that you expect to be blue is red, that should indicate to you that there is perhaps a problem with your little gizmo.
Plus, I'm pretty, like, this is my own thinking, but I kind of think R2's already inherently bad. He's more of an asshole bad, kind of, than evil bad.
R2's a Sith Lord, first of all.
Actually, no, C-3PO is.
Chopper.
Oh, Chopper, I love him.
So summary, Lola does some bad stuff and starts chopping some wires or something.
I think
chopping
she
them,
literally
pulling
unplugs like one wire.
Yeah.
And then it took homegirl Leia about an hour to figure out that there's this glowing red eye staring at her, and then she finally finds the right wire. So bad.
You're getting
Lola
ahead of yourself.
goes,
You're getting ahead of
"Hey,
yourself.
Don't do that," by just floating and beeping in her face, and then she goes, "Hey, restraining bolt." Which I thought a restraining bolt would just do what's in the name.
Restrain?
Not be.
Well, it's restraining her from being good.
Okay.
Plus, was that supposed to be the tracker too?
It's all the same.
It's
an air tag, but like an evil one. Which depending on how you use it, is an air tag.
Because she never removes the
she removes
the tracker. She removes the restraining bolt.
That's true. So.
Well, like, here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to think about. Don't think about it too hard. Do you want to know why?
Maybe Lola they were just tracking specifically Lola.
Well, sure. But, like, here's why you don't have to think about it too hard.
It's Star Wars.
Well, that, yes. But, like, also, because if they screw up, which they do, and they let Leia get brought back to Alderaan, then it doesn't matter if they can track her or not, because they know where she is, because she's Leia. You know?
Okay, actually, that's a
like, you don't need to track her if she's there. She's just there. That's where she lives. It's her house.
You are a part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
Take her away.
It's like, oh, we got to track her. It's like if I know where you live, I don't need to track you when you're home, because you're home, and I know where that is.
Well, right, but my whole point is she never took it out.
Yeah, but like what I'm
saying,
saying,
they said that they tracked her, but she got the restraining bolt off. But
I think we're just assuming it's all the same air tag.
Okay.
So they pull up to the hideout.
Yep.
And then Lola starts doing bad stuff in the vents. Nothing good happens in the vents. And
Ice Cube's son is trying to fix it.
Steve. I'm gonna have a fucking stroke. Bum ba bum ba 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 bum ba bum ba bum ba bum.
All right, so then the wife to the Viper from Game of Thrones finally dies.
Oh, is that where she's from?
Yes.
Tala?
Yep, Tala.
Oh, that's why I recognized her.
Oh, I picked it up right away.
I usually catch that shit, and I didn't this time.
You had that poison kiss thing.
Who's the
Yes.
Viper? Who's the Viper?
The Viper is Mando.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal. Oberyn Martel.
Yeah, who gets his eyes crushed by the mountain.
Oberyn Martel, the absolute homie.
Dude.
Oberyn Martel friggin' rules. Best character in Game of Thrones. He
Ruled.
rocks.
Ruled.
Listen,
Dead.
I know he's dead. Like, I know he's dead, but also, like, Oberyn Martel rocks.
I remember watching. So
Take it,
I
Chad.
haven't seen Game of Thrones like in order, but Jess was rewatching it, and I went over one day, and she had one of the episodes on where Pedro Pascal's in there. And I saw Pedro Pascal, and I didn't know he was in Game of Thrones. I went, wait a minute, where's Grogu? That was my first connection. Was, hey, I know you.
You have to be the first man alive
I was about
who
to
is
say.
like, oh, hey, look, it's the Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, for real. I went, hey, it's the Viper. When they first announced that Pedro Pascal was playing the Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, like I haven't.
I was
seen...
like, okay, I liked him in Game of Thrones. I'll watch this. That was at the time the only shit I've seen him in. What else is he in? Is he in Narcos?
He's done some things recently, but I don't really know.
I know Diego Luna is from Narcos. That's the guy who plays Cassian. I think, right? Is that the right actor name?
Yeah, that should be. That
Oh, that's
sounds
the right actor name.
I was just making sure that wasn't the guy who plays young Boba Fett.
The guy who plays young Boba Fett is
I knew his
Club
name.
Shadow.
I wouldn't necessarily call him a club shadow.
No, there are real people who can be Club Shadows.
Yeah, but not him though. He's
He's
from New Zealand, and I feel like unless you watch Star Wars.
hold on, I'm trying to think of a real life Glub Shadow. Like someone who
Stanley.
You know what? Yeah.
Literally.
Stanley kind of is a like in the no, but I mean someone who like you see them like just like real life, and it's like, oh hey, it's that guy. I know that guy.
Who's that British guy that's in everything, including Game of Thrones?
That you're gonna need to narrow it way the
He's
fuck
in
down.
Chronicles of Narnia. Probably like every other British movie.
I don't
This
know.
is killing me. Hold on. Well, there's multiple British actors that come to mind. Like I unfortunately don't know any of their names.
So Riva shows up.
Right? Yeah, that happens.
Oh yeah.
So she shows up and
has a whisper conversation through the door.
yeah, there's a word for that. Forget what it is. Doesn't matter. Yeah, they talk through the
They
door.
use cups.
And like
on
I was
screen.
like, and like we were watching it, and I was like, oh, they're gonna talk with the Force, and then she starts talking, and I'm like, or they'll do that.
We get the flashbacks. We get to see her get stabbed.
Yes, we get the flashbacks.
Yes.
I
prefer
then-
the flashback does.
And then Obi-Wan, like 8 steps behind everybody watching, is like, unless you were there. And we're like, yeah, okay, there you go, buddy. We're on the same page now. And then Riva's having the stormtroopers do a crate. Just blast that door until it falls over.
Just do a big blast.
And then she lightsabers. She hears Johnny's her way through the door. And Tala bites it.
Yep.
And then
R.I.P. our favorite loader bot guy too.
Yeah. And
I thought that was a pretty epic way to go out.
Oh,
there,
for
because-
real. Just being like, I'm gonna protect you so you can blow us up. Alright, I'm dead.
Yeah, what's with the droids going out like
Like champs?
Yeah, like champs.
Because
The IG and Mando going out.
Oh, IG-11, Taika Waititi, who is still getting his standalone Star Wars movie. It was reconfirmed at Star Wars Celebration.
Was it ever deconfirmed?
Um, it wasn't officially deconfirmed, but because a lot of other shit got canned and there was no news on it for the last
I
couple
guess
of years.
deconfirmed would be canceled.
Yeah. So it never was officially canceled, but it also was. It was like a lot of projects, they announce it, but until it's actually under production, it's still technically up in the air. They're
But
just like, hey, let's see how excited they get about this idea.
But yeah, so they all have to screw out of there because Riva hears Johnny's through the door, and then the stormtroopers are coming,
Who
and then
at point blank range still can't aim.
right, and then Obi-Wan is like, you know what? I'll go out there. They can take me. Everybody else get out of here. And Darth Vader pulls up.
You won't take me to him. I'm bringing him to you.
Yeah. And Darth Vader pulls up and does the
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, does the Force Unleashed shit. And somehow there was a second ship right behind it, which I was a little fuzzy on that when it happened. I was like, how did that happen?
I rewatched it and I was like, oh, that is way out of focus there. Because you could see it when he first rolls up. And I'm like, oh, that's like far away out of focus. They definitely bring it in. They like took some editing leeways just to make the reveal a little flashier.
I was like,
it's all right.
And like,
it was too badass to critique it for me.
Like, it was badass, but also, like, it's the same question I have with, I guess we're moving into thoughts. Because that's kind of how it ends, right? Is that it screws up. It screws out of there after he friggin' tin cans it. Same question I have with, his last showdown with Obi-Wan. His prior showdown with Obi-Wan, rather. Which is, why does he stop? If he's big, strong, why not grab the second one?
Maybe his reflexes just weren't there for it.
I mean, I don't know. He kind of just... I know he's a lot older, but he kind of just watches the Millennium Falcon fly away on Hoth.
That is true.
Like, that's true. That is true. I don't know.
Like, I feel like with a guy who's that strong, maybe you can't pull it back, but you could definitely slow that down.
Well, also, so maybe the ship, when he pulled it down too, since clearly nobody was in it, maybe they kind of allowed it to also just shut down. Because, like, the engines finally give out. So, I mean, you could argue that he did that, but maybe they had a droid in there and they're like, all right, cut the engines.
Well, no, I just mean like when the second ship screws out of there, why didn't he?
Well, what to my point with that is maybe he actually wasn't as strong as as we're perceiving it, because maybe they did shut it down. So maybe he's realizing that, oh, I couldn't actually bring it down. It's a shitty argument, but I mean,
Maybe it's just the overconfidence.
I think he probably just was caught off guard and was just like, ugh.
I think maybe he's compensating for something.
Or, you know what? I just thought of this. Maybe that's when he started to also sense Riva coming from behind. So his focus shifted. He's like, I just got jabronied. All right. I know it's jabated. I like making Eamon cringe tonight.
Jabrobied. Jabrobi-Wan Kenobi.
And yeah, and then she sneaks, in air quotes, up on him. And then he's like, I'm not even going to use my own lightsaber on you.
Can we talk about how awesome that was, though? Like,
it was sick.
He made a complete fool out of that bitch. Like, he did, though. Like, he's just hand signal, like, American Sign Language away, just, nope.
Yeah, I don't like... That was nuts. That's all I've got to say about that, is that was nuts.
Yep. Rupert Friend coming back, being like, hello, I'm not dead.
And then doesn't do anything in the next episode.
Yeah. So I forget who I was talking to, but they brought up a good point. They said that, have you noticed whenever like the Grand Inquisitor wasn't there, none of the like all of the intimidation that the Inquisitors hold like kind of also escaped the show.
Yeah.
And I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
Because, like we already talked about with Riva, she never really held anything where we were kind of like viewing her as a threat. Just more of a nuisance, at least at first.
All right. So, episode 6 starts.
6.
Episode 6.
Yep.
And the hyperdrive is broken. Shocker!
The hyperdrive is leaking.
Because no hyperdrive has ever not worked in Star Wars.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Lando. They told me they fixed it.
I just want to know, like, who's these guys' mechanic? Because they should see someone else.
They really should.
Yeah.
Like they should really be seeing someone else at this point.
What was Ice-T's
Like
son's
they
name?
should go to like a
what
dealer
they're doing?
mechanic.
Ice-T or Ice Cube?
I said that on purpose.
Son of a bitch.
I'm trying. Like...
I'm like trying actively to ignore you.
So yeah, but wasn't he basically their mechanic? Because he's the only one who ever said like, the motivator. This droid has a bad motivator. Look.
That wasn't bad, actually. It was pretty funny.
Well, yeah, he literally says the two like quote unquote scientific terms we know: power coupling and motivator.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I guess everything in Star Wars has those.
Yeah, it's like there's two techno babbles, and you're gonna hear them both before this
Yep.
episode is over.
Well, yeah, I guess he's just a bad mechanic, but maybe they have no other options. Because they don't have an R2 unit, man.
Nope.
It's like you go to the shop and you're like, yeah, I have a flat tire, and he's like, yeah, your motivator and your power coupling are both broke. And I'm like, sir, this is a car. I don't think we have those. And he's like, no, you do, and it's gonna cost you $10,000 to fix them.
You bring your bike to the shop.
Yeah,
and they're like, you
I
need 4 new tires, but I only have 2 wheels.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I bring my bicycle to the car shop, and they try and sell me a hyperdrive. It's like, no, you definitely need this. You need this. You're about to be out of warranty. You need this now. And I feel like that's the guy that everybody in Star Wars is going to see for their shit.
It feels like it.
They just need Babu Freak.
Well, that's the so like, how is it? How in the name of God is it that? Because like, I would imagine that Luke's X-wing probably was not doing too hot after taking a little bath.
I'm
Dagobah.
sure it was fine.
So how is it that after his little trip on Dagobah, Luke is able to screw across the galaxy in the X-wing? I'm not asking. I understand how he's able to do it. I'm just wondering how if that didn't screw up his hyperdrive.
I don't know. Maybe he had a Kuil as his mechanic.
Like,
Well, I think they actually said that they shot out their hyperdrive. So like it actually took physical damage from blasters, like spaceship blasters.
like
Wouldn't it make more
Full
sense for the
script
hyperdrive to be like internal though? So
I think it
can't
is,
get
but
shot?
so it probably penetrated the ship and then.
Like, I'm just saying, man, considering how badly Luke treats that X-wing,
Yeah, because then it gets lifted again in Rise of Skywalker.
it's like, yeah, right? It's like
It
he
gets
really,
lifted out of water twice. It was probably underwater for like 10 years.
it's like I get that it's like a, he's able to like travel at the speed of light and everything, but like Luke's driving around in like the equivalent of like a roached out 93 Civic. And it's able to
Hell
just
yeah.
zoom across the galaxy. And like what the Millennium Falcon just kind of everything just kind of like it goes at some point. It's like, how is it that like I get it, they don't make them the way they used
Well,
to,
it got
but like
destroyed when he did the Kessel Run. That's why the ship went from super shiny to missing like the whole front of it.
do what? This old bucket of bolts? Or this old hunk, whatever the hell Luke says when he looks at the Falcon for the first time. You know, when he's like, or no. No, Luke does say something. He does say something.
I'm trying to recall the line.
He says something
In
about
New Hope?
Yeah, about the Falcon.
See, the one line that always comes to mind when someone talks shit is just Leia. You came in that thing? You're braver than I thought. What does Luke say?
He basically calls it a bucket of bolts.
Yeah, like he calls it scrap, and then everybody calls it scrap. And then in
Force Awakens.
in the Force Awakens, it's scrap too.
Yep.
Which, I mean, by this point,
That's
you're
garbage.
You're
The
just
garbage
doing
will
the Falcon
do.
dirty at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I do appreciate the charm of like everything in like the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy being kind of a shitbox. But it's like there are things that shouldn't be shitboxes that are less effective than Luke's shitbox.
Well, so one other thing, I guess, is if you think about it too, the Star Wars universe as we know it is obviously clearly a dystopia because not everybody has access to spaceships, as we kind of just growing up assumed they all
Well, yeah,
did.
there's people who are just stranded on whatever friggin'
Yeah.
backwater like
So
forever.
I guess that could be why, like, everything, because like you look at it, they have super advanced technology, like freaking being able to communicate during light speed and stuff, but then they have
Well, yeah, it's like
inoperable
Star Wars.
ships.
Star Wars by the time of the original trilogy is basically like there's nothing new that's they're subsisting on what was made up until that point.
Yeah.
Right. Like presumably everywhere basically is in a state of like technological
Yeah,
stagnation.
and then you also don't ever see any like clear focus on like society built the like what we have, so where like huge emphasis on educating people for roles like
Clearly,
that.
we're a bit wanting for engineers by the time of the original trilogy.
Yes.
Considering.
Well, they probably all went to the like Republic and the Separatists, and then they all got killed. Except for the ones who are working on cloning. You engineered? No, you cloner now.
Yeah, I'm upskilling. Actually, I took a cloning boot camp. Do you have a degree? No, but I went to a boot camp. It's like, okay, you're hired for our cloning startup. We're cloning Baby Yodas.
So Kenobi escapes the ship.
Yeah, so he escapes the ship.
Oh yeah, and then Vader I take bait and go
Yeah.
after him.
Then Darth Vader, to the absolute chagrin of our poor Grand Inquisitor,
Rupert Friend.
who's like, we could stop this whole thing right now. We could go after them. We could get them all. And he's like, no, fuck that. There's a guy I need to fight. I need to see a man about a horse.
Dude, the Grand Inquisitor did like the non-verbal like just with his face, he went like hands in the air and drops him to his sides. It's like, I can't with this guy. Just all with a look.
And he's like, there's a single life form on that ship, sir. He's like, that's him. That's him. Turn this thing around right goddamn now.
But we got an epic location.
Like we did. That was cool. That was cool as hell. I'm glad that the fight happened where it did.
Mm-hmm.
Every lightsaber fight should happen in the dark. That's my personal opinion.
That, or at least where like any place where they can have like the colors be emphasized.
Yeah, like where the lightsabers can be the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's good shit. I like
Actually,
that.
yeah, to further your point, look at Empire.
Yeah.
Luke and Vader when it was dark.
Mm-hmm.
Vader coming out of nowhere and just all you see is the lights. Yeah, that's freaking sick.
Vader's real good at coming out of nowhere.
He really is.
He does that, which is surprising considering guy's got some heft, Yeah.
He cannot breathe when he wants to, so he can just kind of float around.
Which, after he buried Obi-Wan on that moon, it looked like he was kind of like floating away. That was pretty epic.
Oh, that's the rest of what happens in episode 6, folks. There's a fight. It's the whole episode.
Oh yeah, literally.
Like it's basically, or it's half the episode. The other half is Tatooine stuff.
Yeah, we cut back and forth. I mean, it's already been said, but like you get the cool epic duel and then it just gets interrupted,
By Riva.
which if there was weight to it, it would be warranted. But
Yeah, it's like
everyone knows nothing bad's gonna happen.
it's like nothing bad's gonna happen to Luke. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Well, things bad are gonna happen, but not yet.
Yeah. They've got 10 years.
Yeah, they got some time left.
9 years.
But you know, it's like it's frustrating because like we're cutting back between the fight and what's going on with Riva, and we're at a point where I want to see what's happening with Riva, but like anything but what she's doing.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
at that point they're too deep into it.
it's like it's like we're at a point where we've established her character. I
Yep.
want to see what's going on with her, but one, the cutting back and forth is not good for the rhythm of either thing going on, and two, she's doing possibly the least meaningful thing that she could be doing in the whole series, which is going after the kid who we know lives, whose aunt and uncle we know live. And that's it. That's what she's doing. And meanwhile, and then they cut back and it's like, okay, yeah, we're doing the cool lightsaber shit again. And it's like, I want to stay with the cool lightsaber shit. It's cool.
It was really cool.
It's friggin' cool.
Yeah. Instead, we had injured Riva going after little boy Luke. Although we did get some badass Baru
Like I said, she stays strapped.
throwing flower pots at one another.
That's basically the Force.
Kick, push.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got our Hayden earned his paycheck.
God did he. God
Holy
did he.
crap.
That grin when he was like, Anakin is dead, I am what remains. And
Yeah,
like,
and then he's like, you didn't kill
no,
him.
you didn't kill him. I
I
did.
did.
It's like that. He earned that paycheck.
You told me Vader killed my father.
Like,
What I told you was true from a certain point of view.
like it. Yeah, man. I don't know. I was very happy to see them both on screen and having like Hayden Christensen actually be Hayden Christensen. You know, like actually see him, and see the two of them. Like that ruled. That was great.
Oh yeah, we never talked about those flashbacks they did to show them
I
dueling.
loved the flashback.
They were so good.
I thought the flashback was really cool and really like functioned well as sort of like not almost dialogue in a way.
Yeah, it filled in some pieces.
Like this is what yeah.
Like it was the clear homage of a lesson learned, or in Anakin's case, not learned. Because Obi-Wan is getting the same vision at the same time as Anakin or Darth Vader is, but he's continuing the lesson, or he's taking the lesson for himself, whereas Vader's still kind of not getting the point of it.
Yeah. I would like to watch the flashback again. I just want to like, cause like I feel like there's some stuff that I didn't quite get out of it. I'd like to see again. But
Yeah,
there's like specifics in dialogue that I think probably were very intentional.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway is just the whole admitting defeat when, like, at the right time. So, like, when you're actually defeated. So, like, seeing the actual defeat. Don't think. Also, I'm not even finishing my own thoughts. But more importantly, knowing when you have actually beaten your opponent. Because Obi-Wan was like, all right, I'm disarmed, but I'm not defeated.
Right.
Whereas Anakin's like, you're beaten.
Yeah. And it's like, no, you haven't. No.
But then they cut to Vader disarming Riva, and after she disarmed him, and then he just takes her weapon, just like Obi-Wan did. So he's learning, but then ultimately when he goes and faces his master again, he didn't take what he learned and apply it again. Because again, blind rage, Sith. driven by revenge. Revenge does wonders for the will to live.
Yeah. Thoughts about Force Ghost Qui-Gon.
So excited.
Spoiler alert, the fuck?
I was okay. This
Fuck,
is
man.
dude. This is what I wanted the whole series to be about. To be honest, I was like, all right, show us Kenobi becoming old Ben, but this is the way to do that. Is showing him learning from his old dead master, not just the art of however he becomes the Force Ghost, but like I think like through that journey is how we get him to be this content older Jedi hermit.
I want to know where they go with what are they going to do with Qui-Gon now?
I believe that they're probably going to show him in the second season, like essentially training.
Jumping on Obi-Wan's back as he runs through
They're probably going to show
the trees
us
of Dagobah.
Yoda, probably.
I was thinking about that. Is like they were surprisingly sparing with Yoda.
Yep.
You know, given that like presumably there are things that Yoda has been doing on Dagobah.
Mm-hmm.
They've been very sparing with Yoda. Like we don't see when's the last time we saw Yoda in The Last Jedi for a little bit.
Yep. And
Force
then
Ghost.
one voice line in Rise of Skywalker.
And then a voice line, yeah. It's like I would have expected them to drag Yoda back out here at some point. I think they're a bit nervous though. I think they'd be nervous to bring Yoda back. Because like realistically, you want to do Yoda right, you gotta puppet Yoda. You know?
Yes.
Can't CG Yoda.
The only time is in the animated Clone Wars.
Yeah, but everybody's CG there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
No.
But
I
like,
thought it was all real.
well, from a certain point of view, the CG is real.
So, all in all, I would rate the series not better than either seasons of Mando, but definitely better than Book of Boba if I had to go off of pre-existing like shows just to rate it that way. In terms of like its portrayal of the content, I'd probably give it like a 5 or 6 out of 10. But again, I don't know how much is that because it was supposed to be a movie and then it went and became a show.
There is an amazing, or not amazing, there's a very good, like 2-hour-long fan cut movie inside of Obi-Wan, the TV show.
Oh yeah.
That like trims out, all the fat. And,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah, you can even see just in the pacing of it, like just how it would connect to have just been a movie.
yeah.
Because it even when the next episode picks up, it's literally right where it ended. Whereas the other shows, it's it's like, hey, time's passed.
So, the last episode I would put above season 1 of Mando. But as a whole,
Yeah.
the Kenobi series, I would not. That's it.
Episode 1, 6.5, 7. Episode 6, 8. Everything in between, 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Just like bookended by strong episodes, weak middle.
Yeah,
Which,
I agree.
Me too.
Which at least sticks the landing,
Which is
They
the
did.
important thing.
It big sticks the landing.
Yes.
I'm much happier with how they did this than how they did Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought-
you'll have to watch it.
At some point, I'll get around to it.
They did a lot better with Kenobi.
And that's not to say we didn't enjoy the Book of Boba Fett.
They missed the mark. They flat out just missed the mark.
They used some creative liberties that felt out of place for the universe.
Are you talking about the
Yes.
yeah.
The mods.
Yes, the mods.
Now, their existence is not out of universe. It's their portrayal.
So you think that there are mods in the Star Wars universe?
Well, I mean, they show it, yeah.
But you know what I mean, like that they belong in the Star Wars universe. Mods.
Yes, but how they were, no.
Interesting. Again, haven't seen it. Don't know anything.
So, just as one last little brief tangent, so the reason why I'm okay with it is because in the old books, there was a mad scientist who basically would like kidnap people and then start experimenting on with those mods illegally, and that's actually who Lawbot is from episode 5. He was one of those experiments. So the whole backstory to that was canon. I don't know if it still is, but then obviously expanded upon with those comics and books with this guy. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, mods make sense. Like a bunch of people with all these things. Actually, they further brought it into Solo. You see a bunch of slave bots. It's people who basically only had that bar and they were missing like the top part of their head.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's cool. All right. It looks like we ran out of time. So Eamon, thank you. It was a delight and pleasure to have you here.
Do I press a button now? Do you have an outro?
It's the same button as the intro.
Okay.
So take us out, baby.
I press the button now?
Press the button.